back to the Volvo project. So this is going to be getting the Vortec 4200, and the transmission you guys have been asking a lot about is going to be a Nissan Frontier CD transmission. So this is the CD truck transmission. This is supposedly the same architecture as the CD09 transmissions out of the Nissans. This one is from Nissan Frontier. I forget what year, like a 2007 Frontier. It's a 6-speed manual. It has the shifter coming out of the top of it, where the CD09s have the shifter like coming way out of the back of it. So it's a little bit shorter, the position's a little shorter. This is what I'm going to bolt up behind the Vortec 4200. So the way that I'm going to try to do this is I'm going to use a FabBot kit and a 4L60 bell housing. So I don't know if this project has ever been completed and working yet. I know there's a couple guys that are working on doing the same process. So some of this is going to be kind of new and trying to figure stuff out as we go. So I contacted FabBot and they wanted to try to do this. I bought some parts and we're going to wing it. Alright, so here is a pile of parts that I'm going to be using to try to make this work. So there are no advertised kits that go from the CD truck transmission to a Vortec 4200. But there is a kit from FabBot that takes the CD truck transmission and goes to LS. They do that by using this adapter plate. It cuts off the bell housing, gets bolted to the body of the transmission in here, and then it uses a 4L60 bell housing to mate to the LS. The Vortec 4200, however, has a different bolt pattern than the LS, but the Envoys and Colorados have 4L60s in them. So the transmission side of this adapter plate should have the same 4L60 pattern, and I bought a Colorado bell housing that should be able to bolt to this and then bolt to the 4200. So that's how we're going to get our 4200 to Colorado to 4L60 to CD truck. So there you can see the writing on it, CD truck to LS, and all of the bolt pattern on the transmission side fits all the way around. And then this is actually a Colorado bell housing that has the 4200 pattern on it. So now using the Colorado bell housing, I should be able to maintain the same flywheel and starter position. And then this is a M-Tech flywheel that has the 8-bolt crank pattern. And then it's also machined for a small block Chevy 10.5-inch pressure plate. So next thing that needed to happen was using the small block 10.5-inch pressure plate. I needed to have a small block to Nissan clutch disc made. And I contacted FabBot and they said, yep, no problem. So that's what this is here. This is a small block 10.5-inch pattern clutch disc with a Nissan shaft spline count. So that goes right on. No problem there. And this also has an extended snout on it for a little bit more spline engagement. FabBot also sent the Nissan CD truck output yoke that has the Nissan spline to 1350, and also a short shifter that goes onto the transmission that they said works pretty well. So interested to see how that works, especially because it's going into a car. This transmission is out of a truck, so it kind of has a big old shifter on it. But what's nice about it is that the shifter position comes out of the top. So it's a little bit shorter, comes right out of the top. Don't have to worry about the extension and how long it is on the CD09s. So that's the plan. I'm going to get started on this, cutting this thing off. This is just like I did with the 350Z on the CD09 transmission. So not too bad there. The only thing I didn't talk about yet was the ring gear on the M-Tech flywheel. It doesn't come with the ring gear. So I ended up buying I forget what this is from, like a different 4L60 ring gear, and got to cut this off and make it fit on there. So we'll see what I want to do with this. I think the other option is to actually buy like a Colorado flywheel and heat and press the ring gear off and then press it onto here. But that needs to be added. So a little bit of monkeying around. Not exactly sure if like the slave cylinder placement and depth and all that stuff is gonna work, but that's kind of what I'm testing, and we're gonna tweak that and see what we gotta do. All right, so I want to put this out there too. This whole thing is like entirely experimental. This is not a kit that is offered. We're just kind of piecing together some things that we think might work. And if things don't work, we'll try to get it to work. So it's not like a FabBot problem if like we hook it all up and the clutch doesn't work because it's not in the right position, stuff like that. So I might have to make some tweaks. This doesn't come with the expectation that this is like guaranteed bolt in. But I know people get really weird if like stuff doesn't work and they want to blame the company and all this other junk. So let's not do that. So I got my mark here that I'm going to follow, cutting all the way around. I went about 2 1/8. On the FabBot video, he went 1 7/8, and the gap looked a little bit big between the bell housing and the plate. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger first and then see how it fits. And if I have to trim it back a little bit farther, we can do that. But we'll see how it goes.
Doing good at this work.
Alright, I'll go ahead and get this bearing retainer plate off. Alright. So the plate comes off. There is a gasket on the back side, so that's good. Don't have to RTV it or do anything goofy. Ooh, that's not gonna work. I need to get Allen head bolts. All right. What do you know? You look in the other box and it comes with bolts. So I'm just gonna make sure that this does seat all the way because I modified the trimming requirement a little bit. Looks like I might need to do some more trimming. So this whole top section should be good, and then there's a couple other ribs that I'm gonna have to trim a little more off. Not a whole lot, but when I kind of cut in at an angle, so some of them are pointed in a little bit. All right, so there it is, all bolted up. And I really think you could probably go a little bit longer on the cut. So this ended up being pretty much perfect all the way around to the back of the plate, and that was at 2 1/8. I did just have to notch out a couple little sections around these little ears here. That's all I did. But realistically, you could probably almost go to like 2 5/8 and then make it flush with this part of the adapter and then just notch out those ears a little bit. But 2 1/8 seemed to work out pretty good. So I'll throw the bell housing on and get a little look. I'm not going to throw the slave cylinder or anything on yet. I still don't have bolts for the flywheel, so I'm not going to be able to completely throw this together tonight, but for this video at least we can get the bell housing on and accomplish something, even though I'll have to take it back off to put the slave back on. But hey, gotta do it for the YouTubes. Ooh. And the best part about this bell housing is it was like $60 shipped on eBay, used for the Colorado. I think it's like nobody wants these things, so really cheap to buy used. What I'm going to do is toss a couple bolts in. Not going to completely bolt her down, but... And I just checked I don't have the slave cylinder. I got to buy that yet. So can't do that anyways. Alrighty, so there it is, the fully semi-auto manual transmission. That side not too bad. I do like how this cut ended up turning out. Doesn't really look like too huge of a gap. So next steps, I got to get a slave cylinder, and I really kind of just want to get it bolted up to the engine and then get the engine and transmission in so I can start building engine mounts. I'm not too concerned about hooking up the clutch and all that stuff yet because I really just want to figure out how to get it in the car and where to mount everything. So one other thing that I should do quick is measure from the bell housing to the shifter, because that I'm curious about, and see where that comes out through the hole. Does it come through the hole? Alright, so let's measure this quick. At about 27, between 26 and 28. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to hook this onto the back side of the shifter hole, and the shifter hole is 4 inches. So I'll have to add on 2 inches to get to the center. Straight down from the firewall around here where my finger is, that's like 30 inches. So if I push this forward 2 inches, it would be right at 28. That's like pretty much perfect. And that's one of the reasons that I chose this transmission, because I felt like the shifter position would be close, and it seems like it'll be really, really close, probably within, plus or minus a couple inches either way. Definitely doable, so definitely happy about that. I was able to confirm that. It makes me feel a lot better. And we'll keep ripping on this thing, get it bolted up to the engine, and then big thing is like, get it in and get it mounted, because then I can start working on other things. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.